Hello, Major Taylor and Laney. Paul Cundiff here. So we have removed the rub rail from your boat because when we put the veneer on top of the decks, it's going to raise the height of the decks 1/16 of an inch. So we'll have to bring the rub rail up 1/16 of an inch so that it protects the edge of the veneer. All right. So that's the reason for that. Also, of course, the trim had to come up as well. So trim came up and it pulled some veneer up when it came up, so we'll be repairing all those areas before we apply the new veneer. So on the subject of the veneer, I had not placed the order yet because I sent a sample of Mirandi veneer. As you can see, it's pretty close. The wood that they have is sapelli, and I'll show you the sapelli and the Mirandi and yet one other wood are fairly close together in appearance, and they're all equally rot resistant. Maybe this one might even be a little more rot resistant than Mirandi, but that's not really going to be an issue for you guys. But anyhow, so I sent this sample to them so that they could select their wood where it would be pretty similar to this, to the Mirandi veneer. And so as you can see in here, there is a ribbon that's about the same width as the ribbon in what I sent them. But you also have a number of smaller ribbons. And so I don't want too wild of a look because it'll look different than the ribbons on your side if I get too wild of a look. So that's my concern. So anyway, I found actually two veneer slicer companies, one in Cincinnati and one in Indianapolis, and I have the wood that we want is Mirandi. And this is what Mirandi looks like. And in fact, I've got a whole bunch of Mirandi. So this is the species of Mirandi, and this is the look that we're looking for. Now I mentioned I found a slicer. So you'll notice the top two racks, that's Mirandi. Those are 4-inch thick cants. I have found a slicer in Cincinnati and also one in Indianapolis that is considering taking our wood and slicing, and I'll have exactly the look of what's on the side of the boat if we do that. There's really no additional charge, it's just a little more trouble. And I would also, the other thing is I would have a marketable product when I get done doing this, where I could market to other people an exact plywood or veneer, it's whichever they want, just like the Chris Craft plywood of yesteryear. So that's a little harder route, which I'm willing to take because there's another pot of gold in it for me. So from having it material to sell. Now another option. Here's kind of. I'll show you the other option here in a minute. But so there's the Mirandi. So we're using the species sapelli. That's what is in this picture. This is a sapelli plank right here. And as you can see, the sapelli, they have a much narrower ribbon. That's why I sent the samples so that they can sort out the flitches that they use and try to get flitches that have a wider area and not such a wild grain. Now, and here's another form of sapelli that is, we can get some of that in the grain if we want to as well. This would be more similar. This is African mahogany. This is more similar than the Sapelli to the Marandi. So here's this one. Here's the African mahogany, Kaya, and here's the Marandi. And of course, if you get the sizes of the pictures the same, that's really more similar. It's a little darker, but I can take care of that with stain. I'll stain this a little lighter, and I'll stain the area on the side of the road a little darker. That's pretty simple. So this is readily available in the 16-inch slices already, and all I'd have to do is place an order, and about 2 weeks from now, I'll have the veneer. So that's kind of the direction I'd like to go. I can go, if you want the exact same species, I can do that. I'm willing to do that. It doesn't create much more of a delay, maybe another week. So anyhow, and I have to tell you that when I first looked at this picture, yes, sir. When I first looked at this picture, I thought this is what they were comparing. I thought this was what they were comparing my veneer to, that I sent them as a sample. And so I just quickly said, no, that's not going to work. That's unacceptable. And then today I looked back at it, 3 weeks later, since I got this, I've been researching and finding a veneer slicer, and I looked back at this, I thought, I need to take one more look at that before I commit to a veneer slicer. And bingo, I realized this is just the background had nothing to do with how they were going to make their veneer look. So I'm thinking if you're concerned about the week, then I can go with the Kaya mahogany, and as a backup plan, if the slicers don't want to slice my material that I own, then if I can't get either one of them to do that, then that's my fallback position. And if you like that, I'll just go ahead and order this today. So, and that's what it's all about. That's what their update's about, and we'll get this thing back on track. This was my mistake. I lost 3 weeks trying to find a slicer because I thought this is what they were proposing for your product, and that was just not going to work. So anyway, that's the update. I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if you're happy with the African mahogany concept.